Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the second series that we have today in the AFDL 2024 Warriors of the Rift. This time we are playing the North American server. We have the U.S. Army versus the Coast Guard. I am Mega again, joined this time with Flannel. How you doing today?
Not too bad. Kind of looking forward to seeing a different set of matches. I know we watched the EU matches, about 4 hours ago when they finished up. Kind of excited to see what North America decides to bring to the table after the three-match series that we saw just a few hours ago.
Yeah, we had a decent banger coming out of Europe. Kind of surprising, considering North America is just massively better than Europe at everything. World's 23. Anyway, so hopefully we get another banger series here from the Army and the Coast Guard. Classic rivalry matchup, you'd have to say. I'm not really a military guy. That's more your speed. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, kind of looking back at the history of AFDL, right? This is our first kind of event stepping outside of our traditional stuff, primarily doing World of Warcraft. But a lot of the events we've had so far within the AFDL and prior to that, the AFDC, the Army and the Coast Guard have kind of always been two pretty close rivals, kind of always going neck and neck with a lot of our competitions, especially when they're kind of put up against each other. So seeing if that continues from the WoW region over to the League of Legends region, we'll kind of see if that's the case.
So if you had to guess, I know you definitely don't have these stats in front of you. Army versus Coast Guard, what would be like the win-loss? Like, who has the edge here in meetups? How many has Army won more, or has the Coast Guard won more?
Looking at World of Warcraft Rise, I think they're neck and neck. Kind of knowing some of the stuff that I know, I think on the Coast Guard side for the league house, they're kind of the underdogs, right? Like their team, yeah. I don't think is the same rank, kind of same level as the Army, but we'll kind of have to wait and see. I was kind of looking at the seeding for the EU side this morning or earlier this afternoon when we started those. Was not expecting it necessarily to go to a 3-match game or 3-match series even. But surprises can always happen. We never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Looking at the teams that we had this morning, they were all sitting right about an average of like Emerald 2, Emerald 3. So it was a fairly even matchup. It was just a communication issue that we had this morning on the British side that lost them the series. However, for this game, Karthus Brand, Caitlyn taken off the board by the Army, Yi, Xin, and Viego. So they're really pinching the Army's jungle pool, but that leaves the Jarvan as the first lock, with Coast Guard countering with Jinx, picking in a mobile AD carry into a very mobile jungler.
I know, if we can we kind of compare it to what we saw this morning? That J4 kind of was kind of making some of their big team plays, right? Able to isolate out the squishier characters, the squishier champions, and kind of secure a lot of that backline kill, getting right through the frontline tanks that, are there to peel for their ADs.
Mm-hmm. So the Jarvan, like you said, the Jarvan was instrumental in both of France's wins, and a Lux pick alongside that Jinx. You'd have to assume that's going support Lux. We don't exactly see mid Lux that often anymore. And a Zeri Lulu. Oh God. No, I don't want to see Zeri Lulu. It's so boring. It's so uninteractive. Oh, that is a mid lane Lux. Even better.
That is a mid lane Lux.
Oh my gosh, what is this? So we got Jinx, Nami bot lane. That's an interesting one against Zeri Lulu. I easily give the edge to Zeri Lulu on this one, but Lux in the mid lane is going to be a fun one. I haven't really seen Lux mid that much.
I mean, it depends on where elo these guys are in, right? Like down in, kind of throw myself under the bus a bit, right? Down in the Iron Bronze range where
you're exposing yourself.
I mean, I don't mind exposing myself just a little bit, right? But kind of where I sit down, because, I'm not a huge rank player. A lot of the time, I'll see a lot more Luxes mid lane, some of the weird, unorthodox mid laners where which are throwing enchanters in the mid lane versus in that support role.
So according to chat, actually, the Lux player is a 1 million mastery Lux player. So
that's a lot of Lux.
0 deaths. I want 12 kills and at least 18 assists.
We'll see how nasty them Lux combos can be. Those can be pretty brutal if executed correctly.
So a lot of these just look like target bans. They're not heavy presence in pro play, with the exception of the Caitlyn and the Twisted Fate. But most people don't even play AD Twisted Fate anymore in lower elo. I mean, I sit Diamond 4 right now, and I never see Twisted Fate. Even if I do, I'm absolutely curb stomping him.
I don't think in any of the recent, last couple seasons I've played ranked, I've seen a single Twisted Fate and even down in paper elo that I'm in. So we'll see.
Vi pick for the Coast Guard going into the jungle. That's a solid bruiser pick. A lot of damage, a lot of CC. At point and click ability, you're going to be able to lock down the Zeri. But the only issue is that the second that the Vi lands down, the Lulu just pops her ult, and the Vi is just stuck in a bad spot. Ahri in the mid lane for the Army against the Lux. So we have both our jungle matchups, we have our mid and our bot matchups. So both sides picking top lane last. Blind pick for the Army and counter pick for the Coast Guard. The Camille was already taken out, as well as the Twisted Fate, who has now been going top lane recently. Fiora also taken away. So it really just looks like the army, with the exception of Caitlyn, just target banned the Coast Guard. We have Karthus and Brand taken away from the jungle. We have Camille and Fiora taken away from the top lane.
I mean, something else we saw. Oh, there we go. There's our top lane. Kennen,
Ornn and Kennen. So, ooh.
Could be an interesting match to watch, right?
The
Like,
Coast Guard team is very squishy. They have solid engage, but they are extremely squishy. So Zeri
once
Lulu
their
bot
Vi's dead.
Zeri Lulu bot lane shouldn't have that much issue. Both of these bot lanes just look uninteractive. They both look very hard to gank. Even with the mobility of these junglers, the Kennen lane, Kennen can poke down Ornn, but the issue is that Ornn can just build Hollow Radiance and clear waves exceptionally well, dealing with the magic resist. Dude, I love Hollow Radiance passive. I'm sorry, I just need to talk about that. I play Sejuani. You press W once and the entire wave is completely gone. It's just so lovely. Great item. Thank you, Riot. Ahri versus Lux. That should be the go-to. Both of those champs have good abilities to set up a gank. The only issue is that Lux just does it better because the root can go through minions. Meanwhile, the Ahri charm cannot. So this is going to be a map play for the early levels as long as neither team makes a massive mistake.
So something to kind of look at, right? So this morning, the production was reorganizing the lane structure, right? Kind of match how they're playing top, jungle, ADC, mid, whatever. That looks like it might be an Ahri Jinx mid lane, not an Ahri Lux mid lane.
If that's
playing
a
Lux
Jinx
as
in
an
the mid
APC.
lane, if that's a Jinx in the mid lane, I'm going to flip my lid.
I mean, we'll find out once we get streamers to like.
But if that's a Jinx in the mid lane, if I'm not Jarvan, I'm camping mid lane, 100%. You put an immobile AD carry, she can only use her chompers on one target. Meanwhile, the other one can just engage.
Yeah, and she doesn't have a whole lot of. That's her only big disengage. A single charm from Ahri or a knockout from J4, and Jinx is dead. So pretty simple.
Oh yeah, there's no wave clear on the Zarya until you get to at least the Static Shiv and a little bit more. Is Static Shiv still even in the game? I can't remember.
Yes. Wait, maybe?
I actually can't remember. I know they changed it with the crit items, but there were a bunch of things that happened where you could chain it infinitely, and I think they were talking about removing it again. I cannot remember, unfortunately. I should know this. I really should.
I mean, Static Shiv isn't something I see played on too many champions.
No.
But it was a solid item because it's skilled with AP.
It is Lux mid. Yep. So, all right. Production has just confirmed that it is Lux mid lane. So we do have Lux, Ahri, Zeri Lulu versus Jinx Nami. Again, these lanes just do not look that interesting. As a former jungler, I don't know who I would actually be focusing here. I think I would just go for objectives and just wait for a team to push up too far and just see who was getting the tempo advantage.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be it's going to be a game of lanes are going to be islands or lanes are going to get camped constantly. There might not be an in between.
I never noticed. Jarvan has heterochromia. Oh wait, does he?
Kind of hard to tell from that flashlight.
His one eye kind of looks gold and his other one's blue. Look at that Lux though. Her eyes are very, very blue.
That they are.
This is what we've devolved into now that we've dissected the team comps. All right, so you told me earlier your main is Urgot.
Correct.
Why?
I can hold one button and watch my shotgun knees do the work for me.
No,
pretty low skill with an execute ultimate.
Do you ever play TFT?
I do.
Do you remember when they last set when they did that like set revival and they did set 3.5?
Yes, I do.
When Urgot was a 5 cost?
Yep.
I beat that 3-star Urgot 5 cost with a 3-star Ash comp, and it was hilarious. That dude was molding.
It looks like we finally are able to get in game. Nothing too fancy going on. It looks like.
No, a standard, a standard 4-point, because you don't have, you really do, neither side has solid engage early. You have Nabi Bubble or Ari, or not Ari. No, you don't take Charm versus Ari. I'm thinking Lux, or you have Lux Snare. The only issue is if Lux takes her Snare first, she is screwed for the laning phase, or at least the first level. She can be hard pressed.
All she do is kills her entire wave here. Level 2.
Oh yeah. So Kennen was doing a little cheeky action, checking in on Jarvan. They are going to be able to see the smite coming down, but Vi is not going to make any plays as a result of that information. First strike on the Kennen, the changes to that actually just make it very strong. A flat 15 gold whenever you start combat, resetting every 30 seconds. So you can go back to, at 10 minutes with an extra 300 gold just from activating that, not counting the bonus damage that you actually do. So, very disgusting rune.
Agreed. Yeah, the first strike was something I fiddled around with a little bit. It just depends on, kind of the champ I'm playing. But definitely seeing the changes has made me want to play first strike champs just that much more.
Nothing really too crazy happening here. No one's making massive missteps. So it looks like everybody's playing this slow and confidently like they're supposed to. Kennen's actually losing out on the farm in the top lane. Again, we knew this was going to happen. It's just a very slow, basic early game. Just waiting for a team to make a misstep.
Seeing kind of who decides to play that much more aggressively and not keeping track of that jungler is gonna kind of the key staples of this early game. Just wave control and more of it.
All right. No real massive CS advantages, though. Ari is up about 8 CS over the Lux. So, almost 4 minutes in, gold is dead even. CS is virtually dead even across the board, with the exception of mid lane. So, we are going to get some action here. Yanuhana, genre flashes in, does hit the charm onto the Vi. Runewalls flashes over the wall, is trying to get away. A follow-up from Unichana, and the Lance will claim first blood for the Jarvan. A lot of flashes blown there in that fight. Yunohana does secure the first kill just off of Vi trying to get just the tiniest bit greedy stepping in there. Did I lose you, Florin? Or Flail?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I am still here. Just kind of watching, trying to see, kind of keep an eye on that mini map, see what all the other lanes are doing. Auto spectator here, kind of jumping around in between what it sees going on, which isn't a whole lot. Got Kennen pushed up pretty far, kind of in that ripe ganking range, especially with J4's. We can see him down there on top side jungle. Wave getting his own CS up while he's probably waiting for other abilities or items. We might actually get that early jungle. Vi looks like she's down there taking it. Not 100%.
I believe Vi. Vi is taking some damage every couple seconds, so they are going to attempt to secure this Infernal Dragon, but the Jarvan is fairly close. Looks like he is about to check this, so we might be getting some more action here. Yunohana does not have the Cataclysm yet. Oh, Runewalls goes back in, but Yunohana is able to steal it. But will he get out with his life? Is able to grab 1 kill in return, uses the ult to try to lock them down a little bit. The shot comes through from the Zeri. Oh, and Ahri picks up a double kill. Great use of the ult just to close the gap a little bit. Not going to be able to find the Lux, but a double kill over to the Ahri this early. That is going to be a massive breakpoint, as well as the Infernal Dragon.
I definitely say, you literally asked like right before that happened, is he going to make it out of there? His death was almost worth it, Looking, they got 2 kills.
Yeah,
that's 600 gold plus some flat AD and AP for all their champs. That's actually pretty worth it.
A massive lead now for the Ahri, up 15 CS, 2 kills. Almost got did manage to get a turret plate, and they are going to pick up some of these Void Grubs, get that extra bit of pushing power. So this is going to be a very strong team to have to deal with. But looks like they are about to get collapsed on. The Ahri is not nearby. This is a 3v2. Orin gets knocked up. The slicing Maelstrom goes through. Is going to hit onto both of them. All 3 grubs go the way of the army, but Runelulz is there to secure one. Almost gets out. Ninetales picks up a double kill, and Genre now has to run away. Hopefully not get picked off. Able to dodge the Dark Binding. Genre not going to get stunned up. An additional burst of move speed hits the charms, trying to trade something back, but not going to find it. A double kill to the Lux then. 2 double kills to the mid laner, but he's going in. Oh, Genre just dodges it, trying to get that last hit, but he's not enough. Runelulz is able to grab it. The red buff burn, unfortunately, does take him down. 2 kills to the Lux in the fight at the Baron pit. Ahri is able to pick up 1 more, does fall to the Vi, but she will come back with the Malignance. That extra ability haste on the ultimate and that AoE damage is going to be very helpful for this Ahri in just completely dominating this lane.
Yeah, I mean, so between the, that MR shred that it gives on top, if I recall Malignance correctly.
It does.
Yeah, that's nasty, especially getting a good charm off and then ulting into him. That's gonna be pretty nice, especially with up against a team of 4 very, very squishy champions. As we've already seen, watching that Lux get nuked, Kennen get touched in, places that hurts quite a bit. So we'll kind of hope the Coast Guard kind of has something to react to that a little bit.
Oh, the cease and desist does come down onto the Zeri. Jarvan is here, ready to fight back. The shock will hit too, but Yunohana is kind of on his own now. There's no AD carry to help him. Flashes forward, but Koifish is able to stay alive long enough, just barely, thanks to the barrier, is able to survive. And Jarvan, Yunohana going a little bit too deep, not having the AD carry anymore. Zeri jumped so far away.
And it looks like we didn't actually get a Zeri ult there, which may have actually helped them turn that fight around just that little bit that they needed to keep Yunohana alive. But, well, it may have been on cooldown. I wasn't necessarily paying the most attention.
I don't believe it was.
That may have actually helped, especially when that Cataclysm came out. Zeri could have gotten in there and actually gotten some pretty solid damage output with that. But I think we just saw Lux ulti to wave clear.
Oh yeah, she's back. She more than likely has Malignance and wants to get that. Doesn't want to have to worry about staying a little bit too long. Oh, not Malignance. Finished boots. Still.
A little bit of boots, getting those tier 2 boots a little bit earlier than your first item. Not something I typically do, but, Maybe there's a strategy we're unaware of. We'll
It depends on the matchup for me.
Yeah. Like if you're down pretty, like you're behind a little bit, even though kills are equal, gold is very minutely differential here. Not
right now. Kennen is almost getting the better of this. Getting hit by the Bellow's Breath doesn't help that massive chunk of damage, especially if it's combined with a grass proc. As the Vi is coming in, the Ornhorn is out. The Vi misses. Unfortunately, Kennen is so low. Rune Laws with the breaker is able to get the kill. Picks up the Vi's, I believe, third kill this match. Second or third.
That'll be Vi's second kill this match.
Yes. So
yeah, that
Vi, though, I believe that's the second time they've missed the vault breaker.
It may have been a miss on purpose, right? Being able to cut off
a zoning Q.
Yeah, being able to cut off a charge from Ornn to kind of keep that Kennen just alive just that little bit longer.
So, nothing else really happening right now. Both dragons go the way of the army. They were able to get 4 grubs as well, so they do have that extra little bit of pushing power. They get the little mite to spawn whenever they attack turrets. So, should be another good pushing power. I like the Zeri pick, especially when you have the grubs. Being able to basically just use her Q, get that extra little bit of damage, more than most people can. Koifus just trying to trade back. Zeri's getting just barely caught out. Nothing really.
Everybody's back, getting what items I can.
Yeah.
Looks like that static shiv first item for Zeri, kind of like we were discussing kind of in pre-match, right? And then that first item, Infinity Edge for the Jinx.
Jinx
we a lot of damage can come out of that item. Just having that
absolutely.
one item right there.
Nothing really has been happening lately, except for that kill top lane. Sitting about 400 gold lead for the army, but like I just said, it's just a lull in the gameplay right now. No one's really going that hard. Getting some extra turret plates mid. Ornn's able to keep this top lane shove. Does finish the Sunfire cape. So, again, a little bit of that extra pushing power, as well as the Negatron to just kind of sustain through this Kennen poke. We might get to see some action here. Hana does get the knockup onto Koifish. Not even going to bother flashing. Nami will, though, after the Cataclysm goes down. Not going to die here yet. With all the plates falling after 14 minutes now, we are going to get the first turn of the game going over to the army. It looks like the Lulu is going to go the standard Enchanter build. Probably going to get Ardent Sensor and just be very annoying. So first turret falls for the army. Well done for them. But now what are we going to have happen? Dragon's not spawning yet for a couple more minutes.
Rift Herald up that they could go for. That might be what they're positioning. Again, they're starting to get that positioning for it. You got Jinx still sitting bot lane, getting some extra wave clear. Maybe trying to get those tier 2 boots before a Rift Herald fight.
Oh, Vault Breaker and the Cease and Desist will connect onto Genre. The charm goes wide, but the Ariel, the Spirit Rush, is out. Insidious flashes over, gets the 1 kill as the Slicing Maelstrom will come out. The Zeri is going to fall eventually to the Jinx. The resets come in. She's getting excited, and she is going to pick up a double kill. Almost gonna... She's She gets the triple kill. Hana trying to flash back in, gets caught by the Lux, and the Coast Guard amazingly takes a great fight. 3 kills to the Jinx, and this is going to be a very tough nut to crack now. This Jinx is going to do a lot of damage and be very hard to kill when you have a late game Nami keeping her alive with those heals.
I mean, especially to go with that Imperial Mandate, being able to CC something, and that's just that extra bit more damage, especially with the scaling attack speed from Jinx's minigun. That's going to be a pretty nasty combo mixed with that crit that she's already starting to build.
Can't wait to see what Jinx buys. She gets the Zeal. Should have more money than that.
Looks like going for Renan's Hurricane, possibly?
I believe it should be a Runan's pick. It's pretty standard, especially with these team fights. Jinx just able to hit multiple people at one time. Might get the same thing coming out from Zeri, but it could also just be a Phantom Dancer as well. Orange trying to get this shove up. 4 going down to meet his team. He's going to have to TP into this fight. The Hextech Dragon has spawned. It's too far. It's not too far out. Oh, you guys, you can't be dancing with it like this. Just one misstep. If the army steps up, it is going to reset, and all that damage is going to be locked in. Hana is trying to get in, and he
There's
does!
Another steal.
He smites it from max range, gets the steal. 3 are locked up in the Cataclysm. He's unable to... Oh, I misspoke. I spoke too early. Hana is out. The cannon is stuck in a bad spot. The Seeker's Arm Guard is used and does not help his team at all. Genre picks up 9 tails. A double Oranhorn will pick up 2. Koi Fish is down. The Jinx is down and did nothing in the fight. The Charm tags the Nami, and Insidious picks up his 4th kill. A 1-team fight and a stolen dragon for the army, and they are rushing straight to the Herald. They're going to be able to push mid, get Herald, and the bot lane all in one go.
Something we saw the last dragon too, that very first dragon, the smite into a team fight, and armies come out on top with both of those dragon team fights. It was a pretty beautiful sight to watch. That how well executed that entire team fight was. Hana being able to get out of there with just that 1 HP dream, and carrying on to take Rift Herald as well.
It's actually disgusting with it. It is 2 smite steals in one game. Absolutely ridiculously good. KDA leaves a little to be desired, but who really cares? You're up 3. You're up 3 dragons. You've put your enemies at soul point at 17 minutes. At 23 minutes, you have the chance to just win the dragon fight, take the Hextech Soul, and then move straight to Baron. So a very good performance here from the army. This Zeri was able to flash over, get a lot of damage out, but again, they have to keep this Jinx down, or she will do a massive amount of damage in these team fights if she's untouched.
That's kind of where them having a pretty solid front line, being that J4 and that Ornn, especially now with that artifact, MR item that Ornn now has, then that extra bit of shield when he hasn't taken a whole bunch of magic damage.
Kanik Rookern.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of...
Oh, Insidious just gets over the wall. A great flag and drag from the Jarvan into the Cataclysm sets Insidious up for another kill onto this Jinx. And they're going to drop the Herald mid, use it to crack open these turrets, potentially just break open the base.
This is looking like it's going to be a pretty cut and dry Rift Herald push here. Up the smite to kill the Rift Herald.
Dragon spawns in about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. They are going to be able to take this top lane as well. A massive influx of gold into the side of the army. Going to be sitting at a 5,000 gold lead. Well done from them. 5-1 Zeri, starting to build that infinity edge. No turrets taken, and it doesn't even look like many plates were even taken by the Coast Guard. They're just been able to keep in this game based off of the kills that they have, but still a 5k gold lead for the Army, only in 4 turrets. This is still kind of concerning because the Coast Guard is just not able to play this map that well. Genre is dashing in. The Charm does tag Nozdorm. Genre is right there. Pick up the kill after hitting a great Charm.
Kennen kind of got himself out there just a little bit too much, right? Kennen being squishy, not having a whole lot of vision in that jungle, kind of set himself up for not a fun time trying to push that wave in to get that tower that they're so far behind, get that extra 250 gold for his team after taking those bonus objectives.
Over 5,000 gold now. Dragon is spawning in less than a minute. Hextech Soul for a very strong team. This Zeri with Hextech Soul is going to be able to do a lot of damage. The wave clear as well for the side of the Army. Every single member will be able to clear a wave with basically one ability or one set of auto attacks. So very, very terrifying to have to deal with. I wonder if the Coast Guard just tries to cut their losses and right after this try to move up for the Baron. But it looks like Yunohana is going to go in with the Cataclysm. The Ornhorn will connect. Flash out, but Insidious does pick up the Nami as they are going to chase. Yunohana is walking right into the Vibe, but it doesn't matter. The Wild Growth is there. Cease and Desist does connect on. As the Slicing Maelstrom goes down, Genre takes down Vibe. The Lux ult does nothing as Nozdorm is not in a good spot. Chasing picks up 1. The Binding will connect onto 2, but that just means that the Baron is up for the taking. They win a fight right outside, 4-0. And Chasing is going to chase the Lux straight out of the jungle.
I mean, Chasing doing his namesake pretty well, being able to kind of get that extra peel, get that Lux out from being able to do a whole lot without any sort of a team at this point.
Oh, I'm upset. Why did you do that? Chasing, no, you were doing so well. Oh, all you had to do was wait 30 seconds, but you upgrade the Static Shiv and not the Infinity Edge. Are you kidding me? Oh, come on.
Maybe secret strats, getting that upgraded Static Shiv versus an Infinity's Edge.
Unless they've changed it recently, because I know they did. They were going to do something where everything just got flat gold value increases, and at that point, I don't even see the point in the up. Like, I mean, I see the point in it. It's extra gold value in your items. I don't know. I liked the idea back when it was Mythics, where the items would get massive bonuses. Genre is unstoppable as this Ahri. The upgraded Lichbane, the Malignance, is going to be working on the Rabadons. A fully stacked Dark Seal. Oh, Koifish able to dodge the Charm, but not able to dodge Death.
And kind of up there in top lane by himself, having to back to try to save his base.
Trying to get some gold back into his team's pockets. But right now, we are over 10,000 gold at 24 minutes, and this just looks like it's a one game for the Army.
Getting all 4 drags, stealing 2 of them. That's pretty morale killing. Gonna happen twice.
Genre is so disgusting on this Ahri. Max range charm connecting onto Nami, taking her down again. Only her 4th death. It feels like it's been a lot more. But an open nexus on the first Baron, slicing Maelstrom as a desperate last attempt, but not able to find a single kill. Genre goes godlike. Yunohana does pick up Koifish again, and the first game goes the way of the Army. Woo! a very strong showing from the Army, showing why they were the favorites coming in, why we all kind of expected them to take down the Coast Guard. Coast Guard did have a solid early game, though. They had a very solid early game. They were able to grab a couple kills onto this Jinx, and I thought they were just going to be able to ride this the whole way. But no, not at all. Genre on the Ari was an absolute monster in the mid to late game. And if he had been able to take it back, if they had to be forced out of that base for any reason, he was coming out with a Rabadons. He could have come out with a fully stacked Medjais. The dude was playing insanely well.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that double kill that the Jinx got, no, the triple kill even when they were fighting him in mid lane there, that was opening a lot of opportunity for the Coast Guard to kind of take control of the game, but the momentum just wasn't quite there. The Army was able to capitalize on a almost full reset and come back even stronger going into that transition into late game.
And so hopefully the Coast Guard can try to make a comeback after that bad game, or maybe we'll see the Army just complete the surge and sweep this series 2-0. We will be back to find out what happens in about 5 minutes. to game 2 of the U.S. Army versus the Coast Guard in the 2024 Warriors of the Rift North American Edition. Again, I am Necrozma, Megan Necrozma, back with Flannel. How you feeling after that first game?
A little bit rough, right? The Coast Guard started off pretty strong, kind of fell off after a wonderful team fight that kind of set them up in a position to take control of the game. But that momentum fell off. Army was able to take advantage of not one, but 2 Dragon Steals. And the subsequent team fights that kind of fell in after that and just set themselves up for walking into the Nexus and ending the game pretty quickly.
You know what? I give you complete props for not mentioning what just happened. I nearly choked and died on stream. Live stream fails would have a very fun one with that. Caster dies mid introduction. Just oh my gosh, that actually really hurt. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about that. My throat just decided to cough right as I was taking a drink of water, and I was like, I see my life flash before my eyes. Similar to how the Coast Guard must be feeling after that last game. Starting off strong, like you said, a team fight in the mid lane where they were able to get 3 kills onto Koi, but not able to find anything else because genres was all over the place.
Yeah, between that Ari and that J4, that was a pretty brutal matchup for the Coast Guard. But if they can kind of see where was the strong points from the Army were coming from, and they take advantage of that with this ban phase, we might be able to see Coast Guard, take a grasp out of things and try to make a pretty solid comeback.
Yeah. So we're gonna see the Yi and the Xin Zhao again, the same band, 2 of the same bands on the Army, but they are gonna get rid of the Lux. They did not want to have to deal with it again. Don't really know what the third ban is for the Coast Guard yet. It's going to be the Viego. So they're just complete target banning Hana. I did check his OB.GG. He is Diamond right now. Hey, Diamond brother. So this very solid jungler, as shown by the fact that he did have 2 Dragon Steals. He has a very thorough knowledge of how to play Jarvan and how to play these team fights and who he should be targeting. So very smart to ban him out, but I have to feel that unless the Coast Guard take Jarvan here, he's just going to pick Jarvan again.
Yeah, I mean, not seeing a Jarvan or an Ari ban in those initial 3, they might be setting themselves up for a repeat matchup in that jungle and mid lane. Since the Army's already banned out that Lux, Ninetales playing that mid lane is going to have to look for something a little bit different.
So Jinx locked in for Koi again, and are we handshaking almost the same comps going back to back? No, this time we're going to get the Caitlyn for Insidious. So a slightly different comp might just be looking. The Caitlyn is a very strong late game option. Jarvan engaged, just gets that vision, and Caitlyn just fires the ace in the hole, just picking off these kills left and right. So Caitlyn versus Jinx, classic lore matchup here. So I like it.
Yeah.
I hate playing versus Caitlyn late game. She's super annoying. Oh, cool. I'm a mega tank that has 500 armor and 6,000 health. I'm dead in 2 shots. That's nice.
Yeah, those
balanced
headshots
interactive
plus
gameplay.
I mean, the changes with this season with this split with LDR no longer having that Giant Slayer bonus on it is pretty brutal for champions like Caitlyn who relied on that.
Volibear locked in, but we're not sure if we're going to see that in the top or the jungle. We did have a Volibear earlier today that was in the jungle. Not that good of a showing. Braum and Lulu. So we do have our bot lanes. We potentially have our junglers, but Caitlyn Braum versus Jinx Lulu. I think it's just a solid range advantage. I think Caitlyn should still be able to push them in. Fiora is banned away, and they might just be looking to target this top lane again like they did last game when they got rid of the Camille and the Fiora.
Likely to see a repeat. They know what worked for them. They'll likely use this to keep that momentum, try to take this to a 2-0 series.
Camille Fiora
Yep.
banned out again, as well as the Akali and the Ornn. So switching up the bans from the Coast Guard in the second half. Wonder what they might be concerned about this time. The Ornn, I don't think, was the biggest issue, but we're going to see Genre's Orianna, yet another control mage. I'm surprised he didn't just go for the Ahri second pick or second rotation because it's still available. They did not ban it out. He had a massive showing on it last game. So wonder if they're just going for another, like a ball delivery system into a team fight comp.
Yeah, being able to drop that ball on J4 and then ult in the middle of a Cataclysm, that's going to be a nasty combo. Just thinking about the play is just a little bit of shivers down my spine. Just a little bit.
Faker Shockwave will find them all.
Yeah. Let's see. A Malzahar mid, likely.
Love how Malzahar has the little knife at his side, yet never uses it.
Once. And then a top lane.
A set locked in for the top lane. An interesting, different comp. Not really sure what they're trying to do here. Malzahar is primarily used as anti-engage or just flash picking off one. The Volibear and the set are used as engage, so they're kind of like they're mixing up their priorities here.
Likely that Malzahar is going to be used to lock down priority targets, trying to keep that J4 out of their backline, especially if he Cataclysms in again. Be able to lock him down, keep him right for a pick. That may be what that Malzahar is going to be.
It would have to be what that Malzahar is going to do, but we are going to wait to see what the army locks in top lane against this set. It's Cassante. Ooh. Okay.
It's going to be solid front
Understandable.
Line. Yeah, solid front line on both sides.
It's, chat, please prep the copy pasta, 4,700 health, whatever the heck Showmaker said. I don't know what it is. I don't speak or read Korean, but a very different team comps from both sides. I'd like to see the Volibear get active early, try to set these lanes up for success, because we didn't see it from the Vi that much last game. Died for first blood and basically just had to play reactive for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Volibear is a pretty aggressive champion. He's got a stun. He's got his W gives him some health on repetitive hits. That nice 10% health shield from his E, as well as that Ohmwrecker-like ultimate that'll be able to shut down some of those towers. So pretty smooth dive.
You're showing our age when you say Ohmwrecker.
Ohmwrecker was a great item.
I built it like 3 times in the entirety of its existence, but it was an interesting item. The first time I ever built it, someone was like, "You shut down my turret!" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that.
Ohmwrecker for you.
I can do that.
Yeah. Can't do it often, but I can shut down your turret."
And then there were always those people that would do it on the enemy Nexus turrets, and then just use them to kill it. Just that big brain play. Do you remember Zerat Portal?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
good times. Good
That's
times.
an item. That and Hextech Gunblade are 2 items that need to come back permanently. Well, that's just my opinion.
No, not Gunblade. I hated Gunblade.
I love Gunblade.
Don't put Akali back into the hyper meta, please. I hated dealing with Akali and Gunblade. I remember old Akali when Gunblade was the most broken thing on the planet for her. So
yeah, we've got our lanes sorted out pretty nicely. Orianna Malzahar mid lane. That's going to be a interesting lane to watch early game until at least level 6. Kind of see where that ultimate is starting to be used for Malzahar. Going to be an interesting show.
Right now, I mentioned earlier about my sports betting not working for the day. I'm looking at the Channel Point prediction poll right now, and it is 2,600 to the Army and 50 to the Coast Guard. Now, here's the kicker about this. Because it's just a flat, like, all the points get combined and then split between who bet on the winners. If the Army wins, those 5 people are splitting 50 channel points each, technically, along with their base bet back. So that's entertaining. Great investment, guys. I'm honestly, at this point, I am so hoping that the Coast Guard win. So the one person that bets 50 just gets all 2,600. Just flat out right there. That's what I really want to see.
I mean, the team is set up in a way for them to get that win if they can play their team comp right. Be able to use just this slam dunk from some set into that that jump from Volley Bear. They could have some pretty nasty plays there.
Yes. And just a heads up to everybody, viewership is helpful, but also something that does really help is donations. And there is a donation link underneath the stream, and you can any sub revenue does donate. You can get rid of these pesky ads on your screen. So anything that can be any donations, any subs do go directly to the AFDL organization. 2 ward kills, one of them onto a solo laner, so Kasante's going to be able to hit level 2 before the set. Kind of interesting. Want to see if they're going to be able to do anything with that, though.
Depending on what he started, being able to get that little bit extra damage reduction or knock up with his Q might be able to kind of help keep him in this fight against a set that can, as we've seen in even pro play, one-shot an entire team if he's got max charge on that. No matter how tanky you are, get a good set W in there, and that's rough.
A little bit of trading right now with this Ori. Oh, we do have some personnel changes, actually, so that's why we didn't get the Ari. We have a change in the mid lane for the army. Is weak mark this game instead of genre, Bloody a Killer instead of Insidious, and Empress Raka in support this time. No, I don't believe there are any changes on the side of the Coast Guard, so want to see how these guys work together compared to what we had last game, because last game was absolute domination, but these potential subs could just change the game completely.
Yeah, seeing a full roster swap with the exception of the jungle on the army side. They're coming into a second game, watching the first game been a match of pure domination into 90 or about 40% the exact same comp. So they already know what's coming and what the Coast Guard has to offer. Gotta see how the Coast Guard themselves decide to react.
Bunch of trading here in the mid lane, but Malzahar is not able to grab anything. Bleachmark's getting flashed on. Rune Lulz is just barely going to be able to get out of range. A nice escape from Bleachmark. Oh, sorry, did I see Rune Lulz? I did. Oh my gosh. You know, choking and almost dying does change your perspective. Unohana is going to flash, going to just get the kill. Will almost survive, just barely trying to get out. Flags and drags back over Jarvan, but the red buff slow happens. Bleachmark is not in a good spot, and a double kill for Rune Lulz. A great start for the Volley Bear. Unfortunate. Unohana was able to pick up first blood, but a great double kill for the Volley Bear does help bring this lane back to even.
Definitely showing that same strong start the Coast Guard had last game as well. They just got to be able to ride this momentum, getting that double kill into a very active early Volibear. Just keep it flowing, keep up the momentum, and they should be setting themselves up for some decent success. Spell Shield from Malzahar's passive. blocking that burst damage from that orb.
The bot lane, this Caitlyn and this Braum are playing extremely well together. That little bit of trading that they had down there, Caitlyn was just dancing on the edge of the range and still able to get the Braum stun off, as well as the 90 caliber net. They are going to be able to use this tempo, forcing the Jinx back, and they're going to take the first dragon of the game virtually on spawn. Well done from Army, just knowing the needed tempo for this game, but RuneLulz is here. It's a 3v1 and might try. He's not going to.
He's not going to try to. He's not going to try to play that aggressive game and lose his own momentum that he's got going with those 2 kills. For a single drag.
After that first game, kind of has RuneLulz's number on the smite secures, but Papa Pluto's not in the best spot right now. Going to take a healthy bit of damage, and he is just caught out. The Malzahal ult is used to secure the kill, and right now the Void Grubs are spawning in the next 10 seconds. So this is going to be a very good start for RuneLulz and the Coast Guard.
It looks like Volibear is going to... RuneLulz over there is going to try to get those Void Grubs. Or we've got J4 rolling up and Set kind of keeping himself in a place that he can support if need.
We are going to get a little bit of action here. Unohana is ready and is going to try to fight RuneLulz in the pit, trying to get some damage out. Bleachmark has little mana, has to be wise about using the ult. Flag Drag comes through. The Jarvan will secure one as Volibear will fall. The shutdown is there, and Ninetales has no mana, is trying to run away. The Showstopper will hit all 4. Nosdorm is trying to get some damage, but he is not late game set. This is not mathematically correct set. Empress Raka picks off the final hit onto the set. A very good fight from the Army on a delayed rush to the Void Grubs. Picks up 1, gets 3 kills, one of them a shutdown on a fed Volibear. Well done from them.
Looking at the bot lane, you've got Jinx up about 10 CS. Kind of that taking advantage of that time that this Empress Rocco was up there at the Rift Pit to kind of keep Bloody Killer back under his tower and being able to keep that CS priority there.
So Caitlyn did pop Ghost there. Bloody a Killer, just maybe it's slight bit miscommunication on what was going to happen there. So that Ghost is down. Potentially they can look for a gank here. Ninetales does have the flash, and he will have the ultimate in a couple seconds. The Volibear can shut off the turret, so surprised they're not moving down to potentially make a play, but there's a lot of vision on the Coast Guard side. There are, I believe, 4 wards in the bot side river right now. About to only be 3, but this bot side very well warded.
It looks like Coast Guard's looking to prevent that J4 from being able to walk all over him. Let that Jinx keep priority, get some kills, get some item build up.
So, right now sitting at only a 300 gold lead for the Army. Not the biggest lead. Most of that probably is coming from the shutdown onto RuneLulz. So, nothing too crazy. Pretty much even across the board in CS. A lot of that, the little bit of a lead in the mid and the bot lane, mid and the AD carry position for the Army is negated by Nosdorm's lead in the top lane. This big stack wave, but not really able to clear it out well enough. So he's not able to get these turret plates. The second he steps up, Cassandra can just free hit. Might be getting some action here. Runelaws does not want to step in. Only is able to see the Braum, but doesn't want to risk anyone else being nearby.
We've got both Drag and Rifthold coming up in about 30 seconds. Kind of got to see where they want to take, where they're going to set their priorities, get a Windrake, and figure out what the soul's going to be, or get that Rift Herald.
That's the second set of Void Grubs. I think they should go for the second set and try to. I think the army should go for at least 2 if they want to. All this Volibear has to do is pick up 2 more, and they get the permanent buff of the Void Might. So, a very strong, again, more pushing power, helping this Jinx just constantly do DPS. But the army is just able to take this dragon at will. They are going to be forced back a little bit. They are going to engage. The flash comes out from Koi Fish, and no follow-up. Unohana, all he had to do was just flag drag, flash from Ninetales, as there's a fight all over the place. Runelaws is trying to kill Bloody Killer, but he's not able to get anything. Empress Raka flashes over the wall. The Wild Growth was used on Ninetales to prevent any follow-up, as Unohana does fall in an attempt to kill that Malzahar.
Looks like there was a trade of just about every ultimate on either side, with the exception of Bloody Killers, to try to secure something. But all that was lost was a single Thunder Bear, and that was it.
And looks like the Coast Guard is going to use this pressure and going to take the Cloud Drake. Even the Drake kills up at 1-1, but that just means that Unohana has free reign to take the rest of the Void Grubs, giving them 4 of them compared to the Coast Guard's 2. So beyond denying the bonuses, Empress Rocket is getting caught out. All of them drop. The Oriana picks up the second one. So 3 on the side of. Oh, what a great haymaker from Nosdorm! Picks up the Braum, trying to run away. I am all over the place today. Unohana's going back in. The Shockwave picks on 2. Bleachmark grabs 1. Unohana picks up the other. The all-out from Papa Pluto is there, trying to get that little last bit of damage. The damage reduction from the Cassante is enough. Unohana is looking for this last kill, and there was a solo kill. Bloody Killer solo killed the Jinx in the bot lane.
2-0 Caitlyn now, with not even an Infinity Edge, beating out that Jinx. It's a pretty brutal matchup. The Sheriff actually taking out the wanted criminal there. You're able to work on that little passive that doesn't really give any benefit, but kind of gives you that mark of honor of how many times the Sheriff was apprehended.
I love how
Jinx
they
there.
have after Hui was released, after they had the Still Here cinematic at the beginning of the season, that they added those where, like, if Tryndamere kills Kindred after like 3 seconds, like within like 5 seconds of her using her ult, then he gets like an extra second on his W, the Mocking Cry. If Kindred gets it, I can't remember what she gets, but there were a bunch of new interactions that they added that were lore specific, and I like that they did that. Just adds that extra little bit of authenticity and like that recognition of these champs interact in the lore, and this is what they're meant to do.
Yeah, that's same to go with that Jin Hui interaction, with the based on the number 4, as Jin so graciously loves.
Oh, Jin and his number 4s. What a love pairing.
Yeah.
So
Name
Dragon...
name a more iconic duo than Jin and the number 4.
Me and Sejuani. Easy. So 2 minutes until we get the Mountain Dragon. With the Mountain Soul is going to be very good for both sides, as both of them really want that healing, or not that healing, the shield and the bonus armor and magic resist for these team fights, because this is not a pick comp for either side. This is team fighting through and through.
Looked like Ninetales didn't go with that Malignance first item to kind of help with a nuke on her ult.
Ooh, but I don't really think it matters. The Volibear ult comes down. Bleachmark is silenced, thrown down into the ground. The robot has rusted, and that is a great pick. Unfortunately, though, it does come at the cost of Malzahar's flash ult and the Volibear ult. So this Malzahar is going to be very easy pickings if the Jarvan decides to come back mid. A great fight for the Cassante up top here. The Iceborne Gauntlet, that extra little bit of damage before the set, is able to get his Blade of the Ruin King. But, oh, this turret is falling, and it is falling fast.
Malzahar with those little voidlings that he spawns with his passive. Just great for nuking towers. Not nearly as fast as other champions, but still a very wonderful way to destroy towers.
Unfortunately, Cassante's not making the most use of the Iceborne Gauntlet, and he's not using his Q basically on cooldown, but is almost going to be able to take this turret down as Junkyard Sniper gets tagged, gets stunned, locked up, and almost taken down. Empress Raka, the flash comes over, the ghost and the exhaust come out, but nothing else is going to happen as Empress Raka is going to be able to run away. Koifish is just trying to get some damage back, but neither enemy is low enough for the Super Mega Death Rocket to make a difference. The execute damage is too low. But it is going to be a trade. The Rift Herald is going to be traded for the Mountain Dragon.
Likely while they're finishing that dragon, could use that Rift Herald to try to get some more priority in a specific lane, try to force the Coast Guard to shift their visions.
We're going to see the all-out from Papa Pluto. The Haymaker will connect onto Nozdorm, but Papa Pluto is so low, and he does not want to take this. Nozdorm takes advantage of the all-out, dropping the health in half, is able to pick up a very easy solo kill.
It's a beautiful Haymaker into an ult. That was pretty set-worthy right there.
Absolutely. Unfortunate for Papa Pluto. Looks like he was winning the trade for a second, but you don't have anti-heal against this set, and he's just going to be able to deal a lot of damage and heal during this fight. The first turret will go down in favor of the Coast Guard. Bloody Killer gets tagged by the Zap, gets a healthy chunk of damage in return from Koifish. Papa Pluto's just trying to do what he can in this lane now. Was looking so good for him, but not anymore. After that Blade of the Ruin King pickup by Nozdorm, he just cannot survive in this lane.
I get that Blade of the Ruin King, especially when that all-out comes from Cassante, that's just going to nuke his health even more. Not a great matchup for Cassante, in my unprofessional opinion.
In my quasi-professional opinion, it is not good. But it looks like he might be trying something again, and this is going to be 4-on-1. Nozdorm hits a great Haymaker. Bleachmark is half health, but it does not matter. Cataclysm goes out, will drag Ninetales. The Antulfo strikes is not going to be able to knock him back up, but the Braum ult, the Glacial Fissure, will. Smite goes down on Junkyard Sniper as the skies are split open. Yunohana has gone too far. The kill credit goes to the Lulu. The Shockwave, he is being tossed around like a hacky sack. Hit by the Shockwave, then knocked up again by the Antulfo strikes. and a very clean, extended fight for the Army, and they're going to be able to use this pushing power with only having to deal with the Lulu, and they are going to potentially take another turret. But they're not. They're going to make me look like a
coming in
fool, and they're
from
going to
set.
back off.
Nozdorm over here with Nozdorm even here with the
See,
teleport. Is he gonna be able
that's
to
the
make
fun
it work?
thing is like when you're charging at someone and they just hit you with a Braum Q and then you're slowed down by about 70%. You go from Sonic the Hedgehog to Sid the Sloth.
Yeah.
And that the flash blown by Nozdorm, and I don't think Empress Rocket really needed to flash. All he had to do was to stand behind me just to dash away to his teammate while the set is slowed, but doesn't really matter. You made Nozdorm blow his TP, he blew his flash, and he got no kills for it. And this Caitlyn has a rapid fire cannon and is 3 kills to 0.
Looked like Nozdorm was trying to get in there with a flash ult there just to try to take advantage of that Braum being tanky, try to secure a couple of kills for himself to keep that edge that he might or may not be able to hold on to.
Papa Pluto is trying to take another fight, does get a healthy chunk of damage, but the red buff combined with Set's passive healing does mean that Nozdorm will be able to heal up through this. A minute until the next dragon spawns. This would put the Coast Guard at Soul Point, but I don't think the Army is going to let this one go. The last time they were able to contest it for the Herald. This time it's only Baron, and you don't want to risk throwing Baron when you're not up against Soul.
A decent trade there, but the Polymorph almost was able to get something out of killing Empress Raka there. They just weren't able to capitalize too well. They drag up in 15 seconds. That's a second set of Earth or Mountain Drake for Coast Guard. First one for the Army. Rift Herald is up, causing
Rift Herald
some chaos.
was summoned not correctly, or not at the right time. Might have been timing out, but unfortunately not able to get the charge off, so that extra added turret damage and pressure is not going to be there. The Volibear is ready to split the skies. The Caitlyn traps are not down early enough. The showstopper does come out. Empress Rocket is grabbed. Bloody a Killer is alive still. It's firing way in the back as the Cataclysm and the Shockwave touch all 3 of the Coast Guard's backline. Set is still alive, just barely, and a 5 for nothing. I misspoke. He was alive when I started speaking, and then he died. A 5 for nothing for the Army, and they are going to rush straight over to this dragon. An excellent team fight by them.
A wonderful team fight. The Set and Nozdorm and Runel's kind of hyperextended there, trying to go for that backline, as Yuno and Bleachmark were just able to just destroy their backline with that Cataclysm Shockwave combo. It was cut and dry.
It was a great combo. You hit the Shockwave to get them all close enough for the Unohana Cataclysm to just rip through their lines. Their health bars were there, and then they were gone. A great combination of fights, and Bloody a Killer started off in a bad spot, got very low, but was able to survive the entire fight. Well played from him.
It was definitely a solid attempt by the Coast Guard to make something out of Nozdorm and Runel's ultimates. Just a little bit poorly executed, trying to aim for that back line and not being able to keep up that front line that they are for their squishy back line.
Someone in chat, you'd think that the Coast Guard would have an advantage around the water. I mean, you'd think that, but, Unohana diff.
Yeah, Unohana is just taking control, doing army-like things, keeping control of the land. It's just not going well for the Coast Guard.
Empress Raka is playing very well, too, just keeping this Caitlyn alive, not letting anyone get near her, keeping their very strong carry alive. turret falls in the top lane as they're going to try to find anything on Bleach Mark. No flash. Oh my gosh! The ult almost kills Ninetales, and the flag and drag from Unohana combined with the smite will. Runelaws is not going to be able to secure this kill. Another flag and drag, and Runelaws knocked up, taken down. Papa Pluto is about to fall himself, just barely not able to get it.
Big shutdown gold.
There are two kills in the bot lane for the army. The Coast Guard was able to pick up one in return, but this mid turret and this bot turret are not long for this world. This Baron buff is just accelerating this game. An 8.6 thousand gold lead for the side of the army, and they're going to try to grab this middle inner turret, try to push it to a 9k lead.
And they still got Baron buff for at least another minute and a half. Being able to make the most of that with their empowered recalls and just infusing those minions.
That's a cute Orianna skin. I like it. We're going to try to go top lane and see if they can start pushing this in, but don't really want to overextend. You want to take these wins while you have it. You only have the Baron buff for another 10 seconds. Get these backs in, these quick backs, and reset. Getting ready for this next dragon to spawn in a minute and a half. You have every wave pushed in. You're not going to be able to pick off any of these turrets without a team fight now that you're out of the Baron buff.
Looks like there might be a fight for mid here, as 3 of 5 players from the Coast Guard are kind of just hovering there, with Ninetales backing, likely for control words. Trying to keep that vision, especially knowing Baron's up in 2.5, Drag's up in a minute. They've got to be able to get that vision, maybe be able to make a play that'll turn something around for them, get them back in this fight.
What I want to see is Ninetales go more into the assassin mode of Malzahar. Someone who can just have their set, have the Volibear draw the attention away while you just drop an E, a Q, you drop the Malefic Visions, you drop the Silence, and you drop the not the Petrifying Gates, but you drop the Nether Grasp onto the Caitlyn. That is your priority target right now. That's who you need to kill, but you're not going to be able to do anything about it. If you let the Jarvan and the Orianna get to you, even as a Malzahar with that spell shield, you're gonna die. You have a Leandries, you have the Blackfire Torch. You need to get that damage out, and you're only going to be able to do that by finding a well-performed flank. Oh, Set blew the TP, so there is no additional bruiser for the Coast Guard, and they're just going to give this dragon up, which will put us at soul point for the army.
Yeah, Nozdrom using that teleport, not trying to keep his top lane a little bit secure, even though he's pushed all the way to inhib tower. May have been smarter to save that TP, try to use it to get a good engage into one of these fights, get in that backline, pull that Caitlyn into some other prio damage to nuke her with that 4-0 lead. 400 gold shutdown bonus as well. Being able to utilize that, it's gonna give somebody a little bit much of an advantage. Another item component or two. Make something work.
Runelaw is trying to get any bit of damage down that he can, but it's not going to matter that much. Oh no, he stepped on the trap. Forced to flash away. One more auto would have stunned him and more than likely been his death. This Caitlyn is exceptionally strong. If she had been able to hit that ace in the hole, that would have been a dead bear. The Baron's going to be spawning here in just a couple seconds, and Volibear is still healthy. They do have vision on him now, but what are the army going to be able to do? They have the Cassante, but there is no vision on the Baron, so Runelaw is going to have to blind check Super Mega Death Rocket comes out, but it's going to hit every member. It's not even going to pass through to the Baron. The Showstopper comes out, getting pulled in. The Haymaker is going to come out here in a second. Unohana is blown up, but Bloody a Killer is untouched. He is just firing bullets in. Unohana, again, he is a Trinity all passive. Oh, I spoke too soon. A caster curse in. He runs in to his death, barely surviving. But this added pressure just means they are going to be able to finally crack this bot lane turret. They are going to be able to take an inhibitor in the bot and the mid lane and just back up and potentially take this dragon. The Volibear is spawning in a couple seconds, but there is little to no way that you stop this.
The only thing right now trying to keep this fight going is trying to get that Malzahar into a place where they can get rid of some of that priority damage. Getting that Caitlyn isolated, getting her stuck in that nether grass, using that burn. It's really the only way they win some of these fights. Unohana, not sure what they've done to J4, but they've turned him into a Tryndamere. It is brutal.
Just barely surviving. The Spear Shojin in the Sundered Sky, just adding that extra bit of spell damage, just being able to move around so efficiently, get those heals from the Sundered Sky. A very well played game by Unohana, as they're going to try to find some more picks. They're going to try to get any bit of damage down that they can on the enemies from the Coast Guard. Get this pick onto the Baron. Papa Pluto is just going to stay bot while the rest of his team is just going to free start the Baron. They know that the Coast Guard can't even approach. They have supers in the bot lane that are just going to be hard pushing in that really only Malzahar can stop efficiently.
Yeah, and it's something I'm going to want to see kind of after this match. That's Serrated Sky. I would love to see the healing that Unohana's got on that. That is what's keeping them in this fight, surviving on that little XP.
Observer, can you hover over the second item in the Jarvan slot? Should be able to tell us.
Only
2,388. Yeah, a healthy bit of damage as the Observer has dragged us to the bottom. Looking at a dead inhibitor, but about to look at a second one here. Gonna look at a second one here. The Shockwave goes in. The Cataclysm finds 3. The Haymaker. And Unohana is thrown under the turret. He is going to fall. No Tryndamere ult this time, but it doesn't matter. Junkyard Sniper is down. A 4-for-1, and it looks like the army is going to be able to finish this out. A 2-0 sweep, just under 60 minutes of game time. And this is a win for the army, a 2-0 in the first series for the 2024 Warriors of the Rift North American Edition.
That was a valiant attempt there at the very end there, being able to kill Unohana, even with that Tryndamere-like ability that Unohana seemed to show throughout the entire series.
Seriously. But, I mean, the only way that they kill him is by throwing him under 2 Nexus turrets. 2 Nexus turrets. I think that's kind of a little too busted for a Tryndamere ult. So, unfortunately, Unohana is mortal, but it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure he's like, okay, I died. We won the game. Who really cares?
Yeah, it was pretty brutal to watch. Coast Guard put up a really solid fight, trying to keep their own momentum going, but the army just showed pure domination throughout the entire series and was able to secure a pretty easy 2-0.
So we saw it in the first game. They started off very strong early and they fell off in the mid game. Saw it in the second game. They had a very strong early and they fell off in the mid game. If the Coast Guard can start to practice, try to perfect this mid game slump that they have after they get these early kills, then they could potentially be a force to be reckoned with. They have decent team comps. They have the right idea. The issue is that they just let the enemy roll over them too much in the mid game. But fix that, and the Coast Guard might not be a laughingstock anymore.
Yeah, that might be able to turn themselves into a pretty brutal team to go up against, similar to the way they are on the World of Warcraft side of the AFGL. They're a force to be reckoned with. If they can just translate that over, kind of fix these shortfallings that they've identified now in this first series, they're going to turn around and be able to do something pretty nastily here in the Warriors of the Rift side of the house.
Yeah. So that will do it for us tonight. I've been Megan Necrozma. This has been Flannel. Thank you for joining me for the cast today. And on behalf of everybody at the AFDL and Chaos Creative, thank you for joining us and have a great night.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want, and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just double up. Don't be I'm so gone, no, I'm never turning back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack.